Hello, Thrivers. Welcome to Monday Motivation. I'm so glad you can join me. Today, we are continuing our conversation about integrative wellness. This is part 2, and our focus today is what healing support looks like in real life. If we haven't met before, my name is Terri Sterk. I am a wellness coach, a speaker, and an author. I serve women like you and like me because I've been where you are. Women who have experienced challenging seasons. I want to help you to nurture wellness of body, mind, and spirit. Last week, we talked about integrative wellness as caring for your whole person, your body, your mind, your emotions, your spirit. We talked about how wellness is not just one thing. It does not, it does not only nutrition and it's not only exercise. It's not just about how well you sleep or rest. And it's not just about positive thinking or whether you remember to pray or journal. All of those things matter though, because they are it all is a part of whole person wellness, integrative wellness. Ask better questions. The question I'll ask right now, which I think is very important, is how is the whole woman doing? Today, I want to take the conversation one step further because it is one thing to say, care for your body, mind, and spirit. It's another thing to ask, what does this actually look like in real life for me? What does integrative wellness look like when your body is hurting? What does it look like when your lower back, your hips, your shoulders, your joints, your neck? Oh, it's all asking for attention. What does it look like when stress shows up in your body, creating tension everywhere? What does it look like when your mind just won't slow down to allow you to rest or sleep? What does it look like when you're carrying grief or uncertainty, emotional heaviness, or spiritual weariness? That is where supportive tools and practices and modalities can help integrate your whole body, your mind, and your spirit. It can all help. We need it all. Integrative wellness is not about replacing medical care. It is about supplementing medical care. It's about using our wisdom to find additional healing modalities that support everything you're doing along the way. Whether it's surgery or other sorts of treatment, that's where integrative wellness becomes so important. Integrative wellness works best when it brings things together. The whole human being, all of you, not just pieces of you. It is caring for the whole person with wisdom, compassion, and courage. Today, I want to talk about how to choose supportive tools without turning wellness into another overwhelming checklist. Because let's be honest, wellness after a difficult event or season can just feel exhausting. It's another thing to do, especially when you're trying to get back to life, back to work, back to activities, whatever it is. But that's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about how to integrate wellness into your life without chasing every trend or adding more and more to your already full life. It is about discovering the tools and supportive practices that help you care for your body, your mind, your emotions, your spirit in the season that you're currently living. That phrase matters, in the current season. That's what I want to talk about. Because what you needed 5 years ago, or last year, or even last month, may not be what you need today. What helped you during one season of healing may not be the same thing that supports you in this season. It all depends on what you've been through and what your body, your mind, and your spirit need. And what works beautifully for someone else may not be what your body, mind, and spirit need right now. So before you start adding more to your plate or more to your to-do list, we need to ask a general question. What support do I need right now? And we need to be genuine about this. That question brings us back to wisdom. Begin with wisdom, not pressure. That's the first principle of integrative wellness. Not every tool is for every person. Some practices are wonderful for one woman and not helpful at all for another. Some tools may be supportive in one season and not help at all in another season. And some things need guidance from trained professionals. So here we are again at wisdom. Everything begins with wisdom. We ask, what am I trying to support right now? Is it pain or stress? Is it sleep, emotional heaviness, spiritual weariness, low energy? Or is it grief, recovery after surgery or some other event? Is it loneliness, isolation? Is it the feeling that I have pushed and pushed for so long, I'm just tired? Then we ask, what feels safe and gentle and sustainable right now in this season? Because a wellness practice makes you feel pressured or ashamed is not good right now. That's not what we need. A wellness practice should not make us feel pressured or ashamed or overwhelmed because we can't do what we're supposed to do. It may not be the next right step. The important thing is just to think about smaller, wiser steps depending on where you are in this season. Sometimes the most faithful thing we can do is slow down enough just to listen. Listen to what our body is telling us. Now let's talk about pain. Pain comes in all sorts and shapes and sizes. It has a way of taking up space in every part of our life. It can affect our sleep, our mood, patience, energy, even hope. Stress can show up as tight shoulders, shallow breathing, racing thoughts, constant feelings of being on alert. And when pain goes on for a while, it can become just plain exhausting. Not only physically exhausting, but emotionally and spiritually exhausting too. That is why pain is such an important part of the integrative wellness conversation. Yes, pain is felt by the body, Integrative wellness does not mean ignoring symptoms or trying to handle everything on your own. But integrative wellness does not invite us to care for the whole person who is living in pain. It invites us to think about that whole person and not just address one piece of that person. So we can ask, what does my body need? What does my nervous system need? What about my mind or my spirit? What do they need? And sometimes pain needs to stop fighting our body and just start listening to it. What is it telling us? One of the most compassionate questions we can ask when we're dealing with pain is this: what would help me feel just 5% more supported? Help me feel 5% better right now. Maybe 5% more supported looks like taking slow breaths before getting out of bed. Maybe doing a big stretch with your neck and turning your head from the right to the left. Maybe it looks like calling the doctor now instead of waiting another month. Maybe it looks like gentle stretching of your body, lifting your arms, twisting your shoulders. Maybe it means more rest instead of trying to do too much too soon. Pain can make us feel powerless, but integrative wellness helps us notice where we still have choices and that pain doesn't have to slow us down completely. We aren't able to control every symptom of pain, but we can choose one supportive step. It is saying, I am a whole person and every part of me deserves care while I walk through this. For me, one of the tools I personally return to again and again is yoga. Yoga has been a supportive practice for healing and managing pain for me, especially my lower back, hip, and shoulder pain. But because it helps me listen to my body, it keeps me patient and respectful of my body and all it's been through. When I feel pain in my lower back, yoga helps me to slow down and focus on that specific area. It helps me to see where I'm holding tension. And that is why I believe so deeply in integrative wellness. Yoga has taught me that healing does not always come from pushing harder. Sometimes healing comes from moving gently, breathing deeply, and listening honestly. The beauty of yoga is that it can be adapted to your body and your season. For the past 20 years, yoga has been one of the ways I care for my whole self. Through all the different surgeries I've had, through all the treatments I've had for my cancer journeys, for all the anguish I've had with loss, with grief, yoga has been there to help me heal every part of me. During my journey through breast cancer, yoga became one of the most important healing practices that I had. It helped me reconnect with my body when my relationship with my body felt complicated and uncertain. It helped me move with tenderness instead of resentment. It helped me to breathe through fear and discomfort and uncertainty. It helped me build strength and flexibility when I needed it most. And it supported my body through movement. It supported my mind by helping me slow down and focus on what I was doing. It supported my emotions by giving me space to release tension. And it supported my spirit by helping me become still enough to connect with hope and gratitude. On days where maybe my body wasn't cooperating, I could still sit on my mat and think about the meditation and the prayers to bring hope back to my mind and my spirit. That is integrated wellness in real life, adapting to what I need at any moment of the day. It's choosing supportive tools that help you care for the whole person. So now let's talk about stress and the nervous system. Stress does not only live in the mind, it shows up in the body too. It can show up with tight shoulders, shallow breathing, irritability, digestive issues, trouble sleeping, racing thoughts, a constant sense of being on alert, waiting for the next bad thing to happen. Many high functioning women are so used to living in stress mode that they call it normal. They say, this is just how life is now. But living in constant bracing is not the same as being well. This is where nervous system support can be helpful. Now, again, we are not trying to force ourselves to be calm. Sometimes life is genuinely hard. Sometimes our circumstances are stressful. And sometimes our bodies respond to real pressure. The goal is not to shame ourselves for feeling stress. Stress is a part of life. The goal, though, is to create small moments of safety and steadiness. Supportive tools that include slow breathing and grounding exercises, prayerful, prayerful stillness, time outdoors in nature, calming music, journaling, gentle stretching, yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, or quiet bedtime routines. There are so many. These are just examples. They're not complicated tools, and they can be powerful healing techniques when practiced gently and consistently. Supportive tools for your mind and emotions. Let's talk about mind and emotions. The mind needs care. The heart needs care too, especially when we're grieving or healing, recovering, caregiving for other people, navigating family stress, walking through illness, or living through a major life transition. Many women are functioning on the outside while caring far more than anyone else sees on the inside. This is where integrative wellness gives us permission to stop pretending that, oh, I'm fine, is the same as being well. I'm fine doesn't mean I'm well. I'm fine means I'm good at this moment. Supportive emotional tools may include counseling or support groups, journaling, coaching, naming our feelings, actually giving it a name, talking with a trusted friend, practicing healthy boundaries, using simple reflection exercises. One practice I love is what I call a truth and hope statement. I've mentioned this in previous videos, but it's so powerful, I want to mention it again. Write two sentences. The first begins with, the truth is, and the second begins with, the hope is. So, for example, when you're feeling overwhelmed, the truth is, I feel overwhelmed today. The hope is, I can take one small step and I do not have to do everything at once. This practice of recognizing what is truth and what is hopeful helps force positivity when you're in a negative mindset. It doesn't deny your pain. It recognizes reality. The truth is, I'm in pain. The hope is, I'm going to take one small step to make myself feel better. It doesn't deny pain, but it gives you room for truth and hope to live together. You can have both at the same time. And that is important because real healing does not require us to pretend. It invites us to be honest, supported, and gently willing to take the next step. So ask yourself, what is my mind repeating? What is my heart carrying? Why do I feel so heavy? What emotion have I pushed aside because I did not have time to feel it? And what kind of support would help me carry it with more care? Now let's talk about spirit. For me, this is an essential part of being human. Spiritual wellness is not separate from whole person wellness. It is part of how we stay rooted because when life feels uncertain, that's when the spirit needs needs to step up and help us. When the spirit is weary, everything feels heavier. You may still show up and handle all your responsibilities, but inside you may feel dry and distant, discouraged, disconnected. Spiritual wellness is not about pretending everything is okay. It's not about forcing a smile when your heart is breaking. Spiritual wellness is staying connected to God, to hope, to meaning, to truth in the middle of real life. And sometimes it looks like coming back to community instead of carrying everything alone or feeling isolated. So ask yourself, what is my spirit longing for? A reminder that this spirit is not the end of the story. This season is just a season. It's in the middle of our story. We have more story to live. The question can open the door for healing in a very gentle way. So create your own whole person wellness toolbox. The goal is not to wake up tomorrow and say, now I need to walk, stretch, meditate, journal, pray, meal prep, go to therapy, drink more water, schedule acupuncture, clean my house, sleep 8 hours, and be peaceful while doing all of it. That's crazy. We can't do it all. That is not wellness. That's just going to create more stress if we fail. But the goal is to build a simple, compassionate toolbox. And I want to talk a little bit about how to do that. You choose the right tool for you, for what you need for the season you are in now. So you ask yourself, what do I need today? Then you choose the supportive tool that helps you. So how do we do this? How do we create a whole person wellness toolbox? First of all, we need to plan a little bit. So take a few minutes now and write down 4 categories: body, mind, emotions, and spirit. Under each category, write 1 or 2 practices that feel supportive to you in this season at this time. So, for example, for your body, maybe you'll write walk for 10 minutes, complete a gentle 10-minute yoga practice, drink 10 gulps of water, eat a nutritious snack. Those are things that will nourish your body. For your mind, maybe you write down your racing thoughts. Take a break from information overload and sit in silence. Pause before reacting. Ask, is this thought true and helpful? For emotions, maybe you write, journal your feelings, fears, worries, and concerns. Call a trusted friend. Name what you feel. Give it a label so that you can address it. Practice with a truth and hope statement, like we talked about earlier in this video. All of these things will nourish your emotions. For spirit, maybe you have a list like create a morning practice, just 15 minutes, read a devotion and scripture, and then journal about how it fits into your life. Sit in silence for 5 minutes and listen for God's voice. Listen to worship music. Just when you have the wellness toolbox, you can choose from it at any time, at any moment of the day. Just one small, faithful step. And when you do one small, faithful step every day, it turns into a habit so that you're using integrative wellness every day, not just once in a while. It's not about doing everything. It's about learning how to support a whole person with wisdom, compassion, and courage. So what's in your wellness toolbox? As we close today, I want you to remember this. You do not need to chase every wellness trend. Every day there's a new one that pops up. You do not need to prove you are healing fast enough. Look at me. Look where I'm going. You are a whole person to care for, so pay attention to all the parts of you. Your story matters. So this week, ask yourself, what support do I need right now in this season? Whole person wellness begins when we stop pushing through every signal and we start caring for every part of who we are. That is how we begin to thrive, not just survive. Thank you for joining me for Monday Motivation. I've loved being here with you today, and I hope these ideas will give you some thoughts about integrative wellness. Next week, look forward to hearing from a guest. We'll learn about cellular alignment technique, or CAT, C-A-T for short. It's a somatic practice that helps you turn off your body's flight or flight responses. It's all about vocalizing, accepting, and forgiving, and it nourishes your body, mind, and spirit. The cellular alignment technique is a part of integrative wellness. So we'll have a guest who will join me next Monday to teach us about CAT. Meanwhile, be gentle with yourself this week and remember, you only need to take the very next step. As always, I'm cheering you on. I'll see you in the next video.